This footage was recorded inside the Lizzie Borden house, specifically in the Abby and Andrew suite, a room already known for unexplained activity. At the time, an investigator named Kyle was exploring the house completely alone. As he attempts to enter the suite, the door repeatedly locks on him. There's no one else nearby. No one touching the handle. Eventually, Kyle manages to force the door open and starts recording. But the moment he steps inside, something feels wrong. The entire room is flooded with an intense red light, casting heavy shadows across the walls and furniture. Kyle slowly moves through the space, unsure why the lighting has suddenly changed.
Trying to enter the Abby and Andrew suite at the Lizzie Borden house. The door locked on me with no one in there. This is really terrifying.
As he continues filming, a door inside the suite suddenly closes on its OW and no one is near it, even stranger. The camera briefly slips out of focus right as Kyle enters the room. Some investigators believe this happens when something unseen passes close to the lens. Between the locking door, the sudden movement, and the camera struggling to focus, the room feels less like an empty space and more like somewhere already occupied. Later, in a separate moment from the same house, another disturbing scene is captured. A doorway appears ahead, and the door begins to slowly slide back and forth on its own. Each time it opens, it reveals a creepy doll inside the room. Then it closes again, over and over. The movement is smooth and controlled, not like a draft, almost like something is choosing exactly when the doll should be seen.
This is happening again. I will show you no one is there.
After several minutes, the door suddenly stops moving altogether. The silence that follows feels heavier than the motion itself. Kyle decides he's seen enough that he backs away from the room and kicks the doll down the hallway, putting as much distance as possible between himself and the suite. But the activity doesn't stop there. In another clip from the same location, a wooden door can be seen trying to open from the other side. The only thing preventing it from fully opening is a metal chain lock. The pressure against the door looks constant, not random, almost as if something is testing the chain, pulling just hard enough to make it rattle.
This place is so haunted. Locked. Bathroom empty. Help.
Not long after, Kyle attempts to enter a different room in the house, but this door refuses to open. As he pushes, the door pushes back, not like it's stuck, but like something on the other side is holding it shut. The resistance never changes. After everything he's witnessed, Kyle decides to leave the house entirely. So, is the Lizzie Borden house simply old and unstable, or is something inside deciding who can enter and who can't? As always, you decide. On September 19th, 2025, a girl named Sophie was filming herself outside her home, which sits near a quiet patch of forest. It was early evening, and she was casually kicking a football around, using her phone's flashlight to capture the moment. But as she chased the ball farther into the dark woods, the tone of the video shifted from playful to unsettling. What started as innocent fun would soon turn into one of the most chilling encounters ever caught on camera. Watch closely.
Ew, it smells weird in my mouth. Oh, that just went. Hello? Hell no. I'm out. I'm done. That's it.
While searching for the ball, Sophie suddenly pauses. A faint voice can be heard whispering her name from somewhere deep within the shadows. As she turns to look around, she doesn't notice it, but the camera briefly catches a dark silhouette shifting between the trees before vanishing again. Then, when Sophie turns her back, the whisper grows louder, this time right behind her, mimicking her own voice. The air seems to thicken, the flashlight flickers, and the dread in her breathing becomes impossible to ignore. Panicked, Sophie bolts back toward the house, leaving the ball behind in the darkness. The clip is grainy, but she later claimed that whatever was calling her didn't just sound like a voice. It sounded exactly like her. Many viewers now believe she encountered something far beyond human, possibly a supernatural mimic or demonic entity trying to lure her deeper into the forest. But as always, I'll let you decide. What do you think was hiding among those trees? A woman named Jennifer owns a beautiful historic home dating all the way back to 1907, filled with antique pieces that go as far back as 1903. At first glance, the house looks warm, elegant, and full of character. But not long after moving in, Jennifer began experiencing things she couldn't explain, things that slowly became impossible to ignore. She started hearing footsteps when no one else was around, faint whispering, objects shifting on their own, and shadows moving just outside her field of vision. What makes this even more unsettling is what Jennifer later discovered. After speaking with a local historian, she learned that when the house was built, there were no nearby hospitals, and it's believed that at least 4 people died inside the deaths that likely occurred under stressful emotional circumstances, the kind many believe can leave a lasting imprint on a place. And based on Jennifer's previous clips, many viewers already suspected the house itself was the source. One evening, just as Jennifer was about to sit down for dinner, she started hearing strange noises coming from inside the house. Watch closely.
I'm hearing a few things. It's like 4:45, so I'm just gonna listen and see if I can catch anything. Okay, I thought I just heard music. I want to go up on this landing and see if I can hear it better. Okay, well, listen up here. I seriously feel like I'm hearing people have a conversation. No one's here but me. Oh my gosh. I'm hearing movement. Down there. And then I heard something up here. Do you hear that? It sounds like music. Well, it's the usual dinner time activity. I'm gonna play it back and see if I caught anything.
What makes this clip so disturbing is how differently people hear it. Some say it sounds like soft humming. Others hear knocking, while many insist they can clearly make out a man's voice saying, "I'm fine." A few even believe they hear faint music. The most chilling part is that none of these sounds seem to have a clear source. After watching the clip, people couldn't agree on one explanation, only that something about it doesn't feel right. So what did you hear? Do you think this house is holding on to its past? Or is something inside becoming aware of the people living there now? You decide. Danny works the closing shift at a local gym, a place where he says strange and unexplained things have been happening for weeks. One night around 10:30 p.m., Danny finds himself completely alone after locking up for the night. As he finishes up at the reception desk, he suddenly hears something that makes him stop and pull out his phone to record. This is what he captures.
Pero este es mi área de trabajo. Y ese es el gimnasio. Está cerrado con llave. O sea, como puedes ver, está cerrado con llave. Y justo de aquel lado, justo allá, por ahí, se escuchó que algo se movió. O sea, las barras olímpicas, se escuchó como las volvieron a poner ahí en su lugar. Porque cuando las ponen en su lugar tiene un sonido muy específico. Y justamente ahí, me lo voy a poner ahí. Esa banca de ahí, cuando yo estoy desde mi escritorio, se alcanza a ver. Y literalmente se vio como alguien se asomó como hacia acá y se volvió a meter, se escondió. Se empezaron a escuchar ruidos, ahorita está la música y tal vez este video tenga copyright, pero se alcanzó a escuchar el sonido y... ¡Ay, puta madre! Ahí está, ahí está, ahí está. No, man.
Even though the gym is locked and empty, loud metallic sounds echo through the building. It sounds exactly like gym equipment being moved. Danny later explains that while standing at the front desk, he thought he saw a face briefly peeking out at him from across the gym. But when he looked again, there was no one there. Trying to stay calm, Danny attempts to recreate the sound himself, and realizes it closely resembles the noise of someone re-racking a barbell. Unsure what to make of it, Danny shrugs it off and continues his closing duties. But not long after, something else happens that makes him question whether this really has a normal explanation. Watch closely.
Porque esto pasa muy... ¿Viste? O sea, mira, vamos a pensar. Son 10:35. Ahorita ya no debe de haber nadie. No voy a poner ni pausa ni nada. Ajá. Tú lo escuchaste. Yo lo escuché. Tú lo... O sea, veamos. Esa fue una, ¿no? La otra. Tú escuchaste las subidas de escaleras. Como si corrieran. No voy a poner pausa porque la neta me llaman loco, me dicen es el aire, me dicen son tus energías, me dicen madre y media. Pero, mira, no estoy loco. No estoy loco. Está cerrado. Está cerrado. Digo, si lo fuerzo no quiero romperlo, pero... No mames.
From somewhere inside the gym, Danny hears what sounds like someone suddenly running up the stairs. Almost immediately after, he hears movement again, this time coming from directly behind him. When Danny cautiously heads upstairs to check, he makes a disturbing discovery. Behind a locked door, 3 heavy punching bags can be seen swinging back and forth on their own, despite no one else being in the building. Danny now believes that whatever is happening inside the gym isn't natural. But for now, there haven't been any further updates. So what do you think is really going on here? This chilling clip was recorded by a self-proclaimed ghost enthusiast, who swears the spirit haunting her home actually listens to her commands. Take a look.
So guys, my door. There's a ghost in my room and it closes my door. It's gonna be a while, but you're gonna see it. Come on, close it. You're almost there. Close my door. Close it. No, I don't want you to open it. Close it. Just close it already. Do it. Come on. I do not have all day. Close it so I can go to sleep. Thank you, I guess.
While many viewers dismissed it as pure coincidence, she's convinced it's something far more supernatural. According to her, there are times when she asks the ghost to stop slamming doors or to switch the lights off again, and to her shock, it obeys. It's as if the paranormal activity mirrors her emotions. Quiet when she's calm, chaotic when she's distressed, as though the spirit feeds off her energy and reacts in real time. But isn't that why the words ghost and haunting are so inseparable? A haunting always carries a sense of unease, the feeling of something unseen refusing to leave. Still, not every spirit encounter is said to be evil. Some believe lingering souls remain out of deep attachment to a person, a memory, or a familiar place, haunting not to harm, but to exist alongside the living. Others warn that what begins as a friendly haunting can twist into something demonic, pretending to be harmless before revealing its true, darker intent. So the real question is, if a ghost listened to you, would you dare let it stay? Or would you run before it decides to stop listening? This video was recorded inside the home of a woman named Misty Huron early one morning, that at first. Nothing about it seems out of the ordinary. So take a look.
Do y'all see what I mean? I mean, literally, I try to be done. I don't talk about it. I don't do all the things. And this is 7 a.m. on a Wednesday. And my light is just having a freaking party on its own. Just trying to make breakfast, make lunches. Here's my switch and whatever, remote. And here we are. Happy Wednesday, y'all.
At first glance, it's easy to dismiss what you're seeing here as a simple electrical issue, a faulty switch, old wiring, something mundane. But before settling on that explanation, there's more to the story that needs context. Misty says that strange things have been happening inside this house for quite some time. And when those experiences are put together, they become harder to ignore. One incident occurred while Misty and her family were away on vacation. A neighbor later contacted her and said that every night, as he drove past the house, he noticed the lights turning on and off repeatedly, despite the house being completely empty. On another day during the trip, Misty asked the same neighbor to unlock the front door so the housekeeper could enter before he left for work. That he confirmed that he unlocked the door. But only minutes later, the housekeeper called Misty in a panic, saying the door was locked and she couldn't get inside. When Misty called the neighbor back, he insisted again that he had unlocked it and that no one else had been there since. Misty also says that toys inside the house have turned on by themselves and malfunctioned without explanation. And one room in particular has become infamous. A room where the family claims they've repeatedly heard something laughing, and where objects seem to move on their OWN.SO when you connect the lights switching on and off, the locked doors, the malfunctioning toys, and the unexplained laughter. Does it still feel like faulty wiring? As always, I'll let you decide. A woman named Jen recently uploaded a chilling video to TikTok that left her, and thousands of viewers, utterly puzzled. Just after midnight, her teenage daughter was saying goodbye to a friend before heading back inside. But only moments after her friend disappeared from view, the home's Ring camera recorded something far more unsettling than a simple farewell.
So this is a video of my daughter's friend, and she's leaving. It was about midnight, and she's going. We checked the Ring camera because we were like, what the heck? It's midnight. And then we seen this, which is coming from the right side of the screen. And we were like, what the was that? So then you can see her. She's getting in her car. She did not see anything. What the was that?
As her daughter stepped out of the frame, the security footage captured a ghostly movement that no one could explain. From the shadowy line of trees, a glowing white chain seemed to float into view, twisting through the darkness before vanishing into thin air. Jen swore it wasn't a person, an animal, or even an insect, nothing natural she could recognize. Now she's torn between believing it was a Ring camera malfunction or the chilling possibility of genuine paranormal activity, the kind of supernatural presence that makes you wish you had holy water nearby. Late one night, a woman named Tara was lying in bed when she suddenly heard an odd noise coming from her bathroom, that at first. She thought it was just the wind or maybe the pipes creaking, but curiosity got the better of her, and she decided to investigate. What her camera ended up recording that night was far more disturbing than she ever expected.
I don't remember opening that. Okay. Oh shit. Is that? What the fuck is this? What the is that? Why? That's on the outside. What honestly is that? What honestly is that? Can I use which? What the is? It's on the outside. It's on the outside. I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm terrified. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
As she entered the bathroom, the blinds began to sway on their own, shifting in a strange, unnatural rhythm. When Tara lifted them, she found no breeze, no open window, nothing that could have caused the movement. Then she spotted it, a single, clear handprint smeared across the outside of the glass. The realization sent chills down her spine, especially since the window was on the second floor, far too high for anyone to reach without a ladder. Even creepier, viewers later noticed something she hadn't. A dark, shadowy figure standing behind her, near the bathroom door. But when she turned around moments later, the space was completely empty. No intruder, no explanation. Just silence. So what was trying to get inside Tara's home that night? A restless spirit? A demonic presence? Or something even darker? You decide. Two sisters are home alone when their house alarm suddenly begins to go off. Fearing that someone may have broken in, they hide and wait, unsure of what's happening inside their home.
I'm recording. Wait. Do you hear that?
When they later review their security footage, it appears that their front door had opened, suggesting that someone may have entered the house. But what's strange is that when the moment is replayed, no one can be seen opening the door. It simply swings open on its OW and at the time. The sisters didn't witness this happen. They only knew the door was suddenly open. Adding to the panic, they can be heard reacting to the sound of a police siren outside their home. And just when it seems like things couldn't escalate any further, something else appears.
Can you check the security footage? Yeah. What is it? Clear.
It becomes clear that something else may have been inside the house that night, but not what the sisters were expecting. While they initially believed a person had broken in, the footage shows a small, shadowy figure darting past the camera at incredible speed. The figure has no clear shape or features and vanishes almost instantly.
The fact that it just moved so quickly.
Yeah.
But then, like, the motion capture camera didn't see that shape. And, like, when it was
how
tracking
could it have
the
even
movement.
known that it was...
Even more unsettling, the security camera itself seems confused by whatever is moving through the house. At times, the camera fails to lock onto anything at all. But in other moments, a green detection box appears in a completely dark room, as if something invisible is being briefly identified. The sisters say their camera has never behaved like this before, and it all began the same night the door opened on its own.
Front door opening on its own.
Yeah,
that shit was
that's
closed. We closed that door.
And I mean, this house is like brand new. Like, it's not old or like anything.
Yeah, it's not like the latches are like faulty
everything
or something.
works.
Because the activity appears to start with the unexplained opening of the door. The sisters believe that something paranormal may have forced its way inside. This raises an unsettling question about what was happening earlier in the video. Did something supernatural open the door at the beginning? Or is there another explanation entirely? After reviewing the footage, it's hard to say what was really captured that night. So just what do you think the camera was detecting? As always, let me know your thoughts. TikTok user Beard Dude shared a series of videos that he claims were recorded while working alone as a gardener in a cemetery. In the first clip, he says he's been noticing strange movement around the area and believes something might be nearby. Speaking calmly, he addresses whatever he thinks could be there and asks it to give him a sign. Specifically, he asks that if it's in the room with him, it should close the door in front of him. At first, nothing happens. There's a brief pause, and then suddenly the door moves.
I heard you over there. I heard you moving around. Let me know you're here. Close that door. Yes, this is your cemetery, I know. I'm just trying to keep it nice for you. Keep it maintained and looking nice. Out of respect. I'm not trying to
In the second video, Beard Dude is walking through another part of the work site that he explains that he keeps hearing strange shuffling sounds coming from behind a cement mixer. Each time he goes to check, there's nothing there. No one else is on site, no visible movement. But as he continues filming and looks away for just a moment, something unexpected happens nearby.
So I'm hearing shuffling now. It sounded like it was behind the cement mixer. Fast footsteps or something that was back there. Clearly you can see there's nobody back there. So, not sure what that was. Reach behind there. All right then. That.
The third and final clip was recorded on a rainy day. Beard Dude says that whenever the weather turns bad, unusual things seem to happen around him. He's focused on finishing his work as rain falls steadily around the cemetery, and once again, without warning, an object nearby suddenly moves on its own.
A rainy day up here. You gotta love it. I swear, anytime the weather's like this, weird shit happens. So let's hope today is not one of those days. There's that thing. Holy f***. Yeah, that's just f***ing great. Hell no.
Seeing tools and equipment shift or appear to be thrown while working alone in a cemetery is bound to raise a few eyebrows. Some viewers believe the repeated incidents combined with the setting suggest something paranormal, especially since the objects don't simply tip over, but seem to move with force. Others argue there could be practical explanations. Uneven ground, wind, vibrations from nearby equipment, or slick surfaces from the rain could all play a role. Skeptics also point out that some reactions happen just off camera, making it hard to rule out unseen factors. So, is this just environmental conditions playing tricks at the worst possible location, or is something else making its presence known? As always, you decide. The next piece of footage was recorded inside a quiet kitchen, but what it captured would leave the homeowner more disturbed than ever before. What started as a calm evening quickly turned into a moment straight out of a haunting. In the video, a cupboard door slowly creaks open on its own, the eerie silence amplifying every inch of the movement. No breeze, no sound, just the hollow echo of a house that suddenly feels alive. The person filming doesn't speak, frozen in silent fear, watching as if expecting the ghostly presence to reveal itself next. Luckily, nothing more happened that night, but this wasn't their first brush with the supernatural. After enduring repeated paranormal activity, they confess they're seriously thinking about moving out for good, because sometimes the fear of what you can't see, the unseen, the demonic, the unexplained, is reason enough to abandon even the safest-looking home. Tiffany had always been the friend obsessed with haunted tales, the one who could recite every ghost legend and paranormal mystery by heart. Her friends often teased that she was a walking encyclopedia of the supernatural. Yet despite her lifelong fascination with haunted encounters and eerie folklore, she had never faced anything truly unexplained herself. That changed one quiet afternoon while she was cleaning her house completely alone when something terrifying occurred.
Alright, I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. I am cleaning. Ignore this, my band-aid wouldn't stay on, so I taped it. But in the middle of cleaning, I hear like a door shut, and I'm whispering because I'm kind of weirded out. Louie's in the living room by himself, but I hear this door slam, and then I swear I thought I heard like me say like hello or hey or something. So I'm trying to wait and see if it does it again because I'm a nervous laugher, so.
So if you listen carefully, you can hear a faint voice whisper the word hello. What makes this moment deeply disturbing is that the voice sounds exactly like Tiffany's own, and anyone familiar with the paranormal knows what that means. Many investigators believe this type of phenomenon is caused by a mimic spirit, a dark supernatural entity known to imitate the living to instill fear or gain influence over them. Some even claim it's a warning sign that the entity is trying to attach itself to its victim. With Tiffany's deep knowledge of ghostly hauntings and demonic manifestations, she isn't taking any risks that she's already arranging for a complete spiritual cleansing of her home. Back in 2020, a woman named Sylvia decided to experiment with a Ouija board. Late one night, she sat at her kitchen table, turned off the lights, and lit a few candles, never expecting anything to actually happen. But in the days that followed, strange and unsettling activity began to spread throughout her home. The kitchen sink would turn on by itself. Objects would slowly slide across the counters, and at times, items were violently thrown across the room. Whatever Sylvia may have invited in, didn't seem interested in leaving. As the activity escalated, she eventually created a YouTube channel to document everything she was experiencing.
Nice and moving.
In one of her videos, Sylvia captures knives rocking back and forth as a kitchen cabinet slowly opens on its own. Moments later, heavy pots begin falling from the counter and crashing onto the floor. And this was only the beginning. From that point on, anytime Sylvia heard unexplained movement coming from the kitchen, she knew she needed to start recording immediately.
Put the camera on, guys, because that plate's moving. That plate. I'm scared to go in the kitchen in case it comes out. It's me. Can you see that? That plate is moving. Oh my god. Just broke that plate. Oh my god, guys.
Sylvia hoped that over time the activity would fade, but instead it only seemed to grow more aggressive.
Knife was moving like a minute. That knife's moving. Oh, oh, guys.
In another disturbing clip, Sylvia stands frozen as a block of knives begins to shift on its own. Without warning, one of the knives suddenly launches in her direction. This moment marks a turning point, because whatever is causing the activity is no longer just moving objects that IT could seriously hurt her. Now fast forward to 2025, 5 years after the haunting first began, and Sylvia says she's still living with the same dark presence inside her home.
Guys, I heard the kettle going. Guys, I've just heard the kettle going on itself. I didn't put it on. Let's put it in the kitchen. Put the kettle on. Oh. Let's put it in the kitchen. What are you trying to tell me? Why did you do that? Why did you put the kettle on? Why did you put the kettle on? Oh my god, guys. Oh. Get out of my kitchen. Get out of my house. Let's put it in the kitchen. I'm fed up with this now.
After years of non-stop poltergeist activity, Sylvia is clearly exhausted and terrified, and even after all this time, she says the fear hasn't faded at all. So the question is, did Sylvia truly invite something into her home back in 2020? Or is there another explanation for what's been happening all these years? As always, you decide.